All right. Hello there, my confused clump of koalas. How are you? Confused? I know. Me too. Just not by the same things. Don't worry about it. So, yeah, frustrating day, right? You guys were confused. I was confused about why you were confused. And you guys asked me questions, and I was confused about the questions. And Edmodo picked a great day to just be a jerk. Guys, I feel like emotionally abused by Edmodo today. Let's just put it that way. Anyway, so like I said, I'm going to give you guys another chance, another video. Um, and yeah, I'm going to try to slow things down a bit, be more in depth, go over some of the questions that I received. And I'm gonna hit some points that may seem oddly specific, um, but that's only because somebody had a question about it. Okay, you might think, yeah, that's obvious, Mr. Trevor. We know how that works. Duh. I'm not taking any chances, and there's a good chance that somebody probably asked that specific question. Okay? So let's get into it. You have the assignment. All right, the assignment name is HBL Science Day 39 Gravity Simulation Lab. Okay, this is the link to the video. This is the attached assignment. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and, well, actually, we can just open this up. We can view the assignment. Actually, we can't do that. We just click that. I actually don't know how you guys do this. I never do this. You can just click that. Yeah. Just open up the attachment. Okay. So inside this attachment is the link for the simulation. So if you couldn't find the link to the simulation, and I told you it was inside the attached assignment, now you know it's right here. All right, so let's give that a little click-a-do. And while that's loading up, let's kind of go over what we're going to be looking for. Okay, so we've got three tables. In one table, we're going to be changing mass 1. Okay, second table, we're going to be changing mass 2. And in the third table, we're going to be changing the distance. So you may remember, like, in the beginning of the year, we talked about variables, independent versus dependent variables. Mass 1 is going to be our independent variable. Or basically everything in this column, the first column, whether this table or this table, or the third table, this is the independent variable. This is what we are going to change, okay? The gravitational force is going to be the dependent variable. So as we change the mass, or as we change mass 1, we're going to get readings, we're going to get information, data on mass 2. We're experimenting with here, and then we're going to get gravitational force as our result. All right. So if that's all loaded up, so what we're going to do here is first things first, as I said in the last video, set the mass 2 to 5 billion kg and set the distance to 4 kilometers. So here's mass 2 right here, represented by this object. This object here is mass 2. And the distance between them is 4 kilometers. All right, mass 1, mass 2, distance between them, 4 kilometers. Now, here is where we change the mass of these objects, okay? And it said change mass 2 to 5 billion kilograms. So right now, we have everything set up the way it says, right? mass 2, 5 billion kg, distance 4 kilometers. These are going to be considered our constant variables because we're not, as far as this table is concerned, we're not going to change them. We're only going to be changing this. So if mass 1 is at 1, here, so mass 1 to 1, up here is our gravitational force, okay? Force on mass 1 by mass 2 is 20.9 newtons. I'm pretty sure I did this in the video yesterday, but just to be sure, oh my gosh, we're going to edit in browser. Giddy up, 20.9 newtons, all right? Now, force on mass 2 by mass 1 is also 20.9 newtons. So tab 20.9 newtons. At this point, you're probably saying, yeah, Mr. Trevor, you did that yesterday. Why are you going over this again? It's because you were confused, and I don't know what you got and what you didn't get. So we're taking baby steps here because you guys are beginners. See what I did there? All right. So now we go on here. All right. So if mass 1 is set to 2, now mass 1 is 2 billion kilograms. Force on mass 1 by mass 2, 41.7. 41.7. And then over here we look, oh my gosh, it's 41.7 newtons again. This is incredible. All right. Hopefully you guys can know the next step, right? You would go to change mass 1 to 3. And there's the force, okay? We get that, you record that, on and on we go. And then we go to table 2. Now, mass 2 is going to become our independent variable. Gravitational force is going to remain the dependent variable, but now our constant variable is going to be mass 1. So step 3 is set mass 1 to 5 billion kg and leave the distance at 4 kilometers. So we set this mass 1 to 5, and we can bring this down to 1. So when mass 2 is set to 1, then we're going to type in the gravitational force, which is going to be 20.9 and 20.9, all right? Then you change this to 2, and then you record the data, and then you're going to change it to 3, and then record the data, and then 4, and record the data, and then 5, and then 6, and then 7, and then 8, all right? And record the data every step of the way, fill in that table. Then what you're going to do in table 3, set both mass 1 and 2 to 5 billion kg. That's at 5. Now that's at 5, so they're both at 5. And the distance is going to be 2.5. And we can change the distance by clicking on the objects and changing the distance. Sorry. 2.5. Okay. And now we have our readings. Force on mass 1 by mass 2, force on mass 2 by mass 1, 267 newtons. Now, you may have noticed, maybe, I don't want to assume anything here, but you might have noticed that the force on mass 1 by mass 2 is always equal to the force on mass 2 by mass 1. So it's almost as if there's an equal force between these objects. But that would mean, no, can't be. No, can't be like that. No, too much, sorry. Anyway, we record the data, 267 newtons, 267, tab, 267. And now what we're gonna do, we're gonna change it to 3 kilometers. And then we're gonna record the data, 185.4 and 185.4. 185.4 and 185.4. You guys get it? So then we're going to change it to 3.5 and on and on and on it goes. All right. Now, once you have these completed tables, you are going to go down here and answer the questions. Okay. You're going to look at the data. You're going to look right at it, just with both of your eyes. If you only have one eye because you had some sort of accident in the last 39 days, 40 days now, then that's okay too. You can just use one eye. But if you have two, use both of them to look at your chart, at your table, and see, are these numbers going up? Are they getting bigger or are they getting smaller? Are these numbers getting bigger or are they getting smaller? So a bigger number is one that is of higher value. Okay, so like 2 is bigger than 1, 3 is bigger than 2, 5,921 would be bigger than 6. Okay, so are the numbers getting bigger, higher numbers, or are they getting smaller, lower numbers? Okay, lower value of numbers, not font size. So, yeah, that's what you're going to ask. So, if it says what happens to the force when you increase the mass of the objects, so as you're increasing the mass, are these numbers getting bigger or are they getting smaller? What happens to force when you decrease the mass? So as these numbers decrease, do these numbers get bigger or smaller? And then the last question, how does the distance between the objects affect the gravitational force? So if this gets bigger, what happens to this? If this gets smaller, what happens to this? How does it affect? Okay. And then here you're just going to fill in the blank. If the mass of an object increases or decreases, then the gravitational force will increase or decrease. Which one? Which one? Same here. Okay. You have a word bank, and there's 2 words in the word bank. So I think you can figure it out, but like I said, my confidence is at an all-time low right now. Yeah, I guess continue to message me if you have any questions. Be specific with your questions. If you just message me and say, I don't get it, then I can't help you because I don't know which part you don't get. And I don't have time to start at the beginning with everybody. So I wish I did. Oh, if I had that kind of time, oh my gosh, that'd be amazing. But I don't. So please be specific in your questions. All right. Mention the columns. These are columns. These are rows. So if you say like, I don't know what to do for column 2, row 3, that's specificity. All right. And if you and me use a little bit of specificity, then we can get a lot done. Completely. There it is. All right. That's basically it. You guys weaseled your way into a rest day in the middle of the week. But don't worry, I'll get it back from you on Tuesday. Good night.